Welcome to episode 12 of the Leading Complexity video podcast. This is where we explore the art of leading organization in today's complex, hyper-competitive landscape. In each episode, we will explore cutting-edge strategies with some of the foremost thinkers in the leadership. Join us and discover how to make your organization thrive and lead in a constantly evolving world. My name is Tomas Björkholm, and with me I have Mikael Göthe.
In this episode, we will listen to an exciting conversation with Nand Kishore Chaudhary, also known as NKC. He's a social entrepreneur and the founder of Jaipur Rugs in India.
And Mr. Chaudhary, he founded the company in 1978, and it has become a great success. Going from 2 looms and 9 weavers to 40,000 weavers spread across 5 Indian states. They sell the rugs in more than 60 countries.
And Jaipur Rugs has also got several awards, for example, the Zero Distance to Customer Award from Business Ecosystem Alliance.
So let's look at the interview, and it's done by our colleague Jenny Mortensson.
Welcome, Mr. Chaudhary. We are so honored to welcome you to the Leading Complexity program, and we are super excited about your upcoming sessions and eager to learn more about the origins of Jaipur Rugs. We're also keen to hear about how you've structured and managed your business to achieve such remarkable success. So please tell me, what inspired you to revolutionize the business philosophies in this way that you have, and also how to become a social entrepreneur?
I started this business to know myself by expanding my consciousness. I would like to tell a story. When I was in the last year of my college, one day business administration professor came to my class and called out my roll number and asked me to stand. I was very frightened that why he asked me to stand, because I was a very disciplined student. I do my homework at the time. Then he took a test copy in his hand and showed everybody in the class. He told that, see the answer this boy has written. The question was, what is the definition of business? And what I replied was, business is next to love. Business is next to love. It is the creator and preserver of civilization. Then the professor said, this boy will become a unique businessman one day.
What a beautiful story. It touches my heart right away. And you have also said that the foundation of Jaipur Rugs is built upon the principles of equality, socialism, and love. And how can those principles be observed in your work?
When I started this business 46 years before with 2 looms and 9 weavers, the first challenge which I have from my own family members, all my family members told me that these people are the untouchable. They will not allow them into the home. And my neighbors told me that they will not allow them into the neighborhood. And in my town, when I go to any party or function, generally people reject to shake hands with me that you are working with the untouchable. And now you can see the business run by those untouchable now has been converted into a global brand. Oh. And I would like to tell one more story that in 2014, my daughter gave the freedom to some of our creative artisans to design their own carpets, which we named it Man Chaha project. Man Chaha means you must put your design which your heart says. And now I am very happy to say that this initiative has won more than 22 awards. Most of awards are the global awards.
Wow.
And in 2017, Bimla Devi, who never went to school, never went out of her village, won the German Design Award in the gold category and went to Germany to receive the award.
How beautiful that this has translated over to your whole family as well. Amazing. And also another thing that you often talk about, you emphasize the necessity of unlearning. Why do you believe this is so important?
Because I think that conditioning is the greatest slavery in the world. If I'm not burdened with glasses of conditioning on my eyes, then I can see the world as it is, not as I am. So we develop a management philosophy. Our philosophy is finding yourself through losing yourself. Finding yourself through losing yourself. The more I lose myself, the more I find myself.
You have so many wisdoms within you. I am truly looking forward to your session. And you will also share more about the story of Jaipur Rugs. And this is an amazing global social enterprise today, just like you said. What can participants expect to learn from that session?
The past businesses were driven by the masculine power, and present businesses are driven by brain, mind, and future businesses will be driven by the heart. So the participant will learn how we can develop our business driven by heart, love, and compassion.
I'm so looking forward to that. We have had sessions focusing on growth and the economics and how to conquer the world, but this is doing it by heart with a good purpose. This is going to be amazing. We are so looking forward to see you again on your masterclass, and that will be on October 18th this fall.
Yes.
So thank you so much so far, Mr. Chaudhary, and look forward to meet you again then.
Thank you.
What a lovely story. I think that for us in the Western world, it's hard to really understand the thing with untouchables and that people are not willing to shake their hands just because they are born in that caste. The untouchable are the lowest level in the caste system. And when Mr. Chaudhary not just shake their hand, he made them to entrepreneurs. A huge shift both when it comes to wealth and dignity.
Yeah, he has done an amazing job. I mean, lifting this 40,000 out of poverty. And I also really impressed about the story where his daughter started to help the artisans to actually do the design themselves. So going really from just being contractors to also being designers, and they have gotten 22 design awards. So that's really amazing.
Very amazing indeed. There are a couple of things. I mean, this is really talking to the Gandhi himself almost. And there are a couple of things I feel like we need to have explained. And for instance, he says that I started this business to know myself by expanding my consciousness. Do you have an idea what he meant with that?
Well, I've heard from other interviews with him that he went on a journey for self-development, and others go to to religion or retreats or meditation, etc. But he thought this was a way to really start to know himself and to increase his self-consciousness.
Oh, interesting. And on the same theme, he also says that finding yourself through losing yourself. An explanation.
Yeah, I think it's about the problem when we are in society. We're expected to be in a certain way, and we are just conforming to the situations and around us and what's expected of us. And also so if we can grow the consciousness and kind of lose ourselves, he talks about that we can let go of our identity a bit. So not being too rigid on like who we are or what we think, but just to let go of that and see the world more as it is, rather than kind of through our lens or having a rigid or very big ego or a big identity.
So maybe kind of let go of my ego and try something. Just throw myself out there and see what happens.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe on the same theme as again then, but he also says that I think that conditioning is the greatest slavery.
Yeah, I suppose he's referring to that. Like if you're in a caste, for example, you expect to behave in that way. You're lower value than others, and you will start to believe that yourself. And I think it goes for everyone. When we grew up, we are in a society. We are part of, yeah, of the world that we grew up in, and we don't question it. And so, by increasing our consciousness, our awareness, we can realize that we can be more than just our circumstances being conditioned from the situation. Yeah, it's a kind of slavery because we're trapped in it and we don't see it.
I think this is something we can learn as leaders in companies, even in the Western world. I very often hear this about, oh, we are such an old company. The culture is it's in the walls, as we say in Swedish, and maybe we could just, I mean, that is kind of a conditioning. Just saying we can't do anything about it. This is just how it is. We just have to live with it. It's kind of the same problem. And instead, just say today is the first day in the future. So let's make the difference. Okay, moving on to highlights. Do you have any highlights?
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, about continue with this conditioning that it's so important. And from another episode or interview with NKC, I've heard that when he started to grow the company, when it started to take off, he started to create the headquarters. And there were people with the background of MBAs or management, and they were conditioned then to use command and control and traditional management principles, and that didn't work. That then that kind of yeah failed. So that is another way of seeing the world, that you have to manage those people around you.
Mm. So I have another highlight, and that is from he told the story when he was a student, and the professor in business administration came to him and said that he loved the way he had answered the question, "What is business?" And NKC, he answered that business is next to love. And then the professor said, "Well, you will become a unique businessman." And I think that the best companies today are built on people with passion. Passion for the customers, passion for the product or service they give, and passion for the people working in the company. And that is very much aligned with what NKC also said. He said that in the past, business was driven by muscle power. In the present, business is driven by brain and mind, but the future, business will be driven by the heart.
Yeah, so I think his focus on heart, love, and compassion that kind of shines through, and you get touched by it. And when he yeah, I know he loves the weavers, the artisans, and showing them respect, and that creates the relationship, and the kind of they grow in their consciousness, self-consciousness, and that's what creates this engagement and the results in the end.
Mm. Yeah, really.
And yeah, so also with the story with that the artisans actually get letters back from the customers, and how their story that they design into the carpets, they have a meaning for the customers who bought them, and then they actually feed that back to the weavers. So in the beginning, they were just contracted, didn't even see the whole mat, and now they are part of a story creating the story and also how it impacts others. So actually, that's a zero distance to the customers. They are a part of it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so let's wrap up for today. We're curious about your reflections, so please share your comments as usual. And if you want to learn more about social entrepreneurship and hear the stories about Jaipur Rugs and Mr. Chaudhary, you may interact with him in our masterclass in the Leading Complexity program. So go to leadingcomplexity.com and get your tickets there. His session will be on October 18th. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
See you next week.